Hello folks, this is an instructional video for the shop notes enclosed storage tray. All of the instructions and the diagram are owned by shop notes, and I do not take credit for any of these. Okay, what needs to be done here? I don't know if you can see this. Since I don't have sheet metal at home, I'm using paper, but it's exactly the same principle. And I will explain what to do with the sheet metal and what to use to bend it and to cut it. First of all, the piece of sheet metal needs to be gauge 22 or 0.0299 inches thick. If that's too big of a number, then you can refer to the written directions that has that number written down for you. Gauge 22, 0.0299 inches. Next, you need to have this piece of sheet metal cut to meet the measurements of a rectangle that is 19.25 inches long and 7.5 inches wide. After that, you need to mark a lot of lines. There are a lot of lines that need to be marked that will either be cut or folded. We'll go from the left side to the right side and then top to bottom. On the very left, there is a line that is 5/8 of an inch from the end. Okay. Followed by that, there is a line drawn 3 inches from the previous line, and then on the other end, we've got a line that's 5/8 of an inch from the end, and then 3 inches from that line. Okay. Those both lines are very important. On the top, we have a line that is the same width, 5/8 of an inch. Where have I got it written down? Right there. All the way along, and then on the bottom there is a line drawn 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. What is going to happen, one more thing, 3 inches from the top line also is a line, and that will run just about through the middle. Okay, ignore this line, this was when I patched the paper together. Okay, next comes a little bit of cutting. These top corners here, this corner right here, and this corner right here need to be cut out, because this is all one top flap that is going to be lifted up, and so are these two side flaps here. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to set the camera down for a minute because I can't hold it and cut it at the same time. Just one second. Okay, so I've done that. The two top corners have been cut out, and you do not need those two pieces of metal. You can cut those corners out with metal shears. They are an air-powered tool. Sorry, no, they're an electric tool that you can find in your auto body shop, hopefully, if it's a good shop like ours. Next, what you want to do is you want to take a look carefully at the folds. You'll notice in the diagram, I've done this. You should do this too, just because it helps. I've marked little numbers on all of the lines. And this is the order in which you're going to fold them. And it's the same as it is on, you can't really see, but it's exactly the same as it is on the diagram trademarked by Shop Notes. So what I'm going to do first, before I start folding, is make 45-degree angles on each of the corners. And this is because the flaps need to be met with each other. So if they try to meet when there's, a corner there, it's going to overlap and look gross. So you want to basically cut these corners out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where those are, and then I'll do that. There is a 45-degree corner right here, and there is a 45-degree corner right here. And there's also a 45-degree corner right here, right there, as well as right here and here. And then all the way down at the end, here and here, and right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out, and then I'll show you what that looks like. And it looks just like that, okay? You can see that along the bottom, just like that. Now, what is going to happen is all of these 3/8 of an inch sections, this whole bottom section is going to be folded up on that line. And how you can do that is you can place your piece of metal into a folding press and bend these up using the folding press part of the way, which is as far as they'll go, and then use a body hammer to finish the job and bend them down. So I'm just going to bend those. You want to bend them 180 degrees all the way in. So I'm going to bend those for you, and we'll come back when I'm done. And after that, you're going to bend lines number 2 and 3. You're going to bend those two sections 90 degrees up. Okay, now that I've folded those two sides up, those two little flaps, what I'm going to go ahead and do is fold the top flap up here down, away from the camera right now. Because when this comes up, the tray is going to hang from this top side. And so when this is out like that, it provides as a support beam, sort of. You can see how it sticks out like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And in fact, this can be done alternatively. If you want to, what you can do, and this might actually be better, is to start with this side by folding this side up first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So both ways are appropriate, both ways work, but it might work better to use the folding press to fold all of this up first. You know, fold all of that up. Once this side is up, you can use a dolly with 2 flat sides to have one flat side here and one flat side up like this, and then use a body hammer to tap this side up slowly. Okay? And the same on this side. So this design does not require welding in this corner because it's going to be hung. Let me put the camera down for a second. It's going to be hung by, when it's hanging on the wall, it's going to look like that. It's going to look like this. So that all of this section is attached to the wall. So it's going to be held together on its own. What you can weld at the end, I will show you in just a few moments. But for now, I'm going to tape these together so that they're not flapping all over the place. But remember, you do not need to weld in this section. So I've done that, I've taped it all together. It started just like this, it kind of looks like a little bench. What you're going to do now is take a punch, and right here, right there, and right there, and right there, in this corner, and in this corner here, you're going to punch holes. You're going to punch a hole in each of those sections that I just showed you. Okay? Once you've punched a hole in each of those sections, those will provide for the screws that will go into the wall once you've drilled holes in your wall at the exact same spot, and it will go up against the wall just like that. Okay? What you can do, and this is optional, but if your school requires that you use welding in your project, then you can take 2 standardized metal hooks that have a flat surface and can be hung this way. They can be hung down from the bottom and still be hook-like and have a top section just like that. You can weld, you can either butt weld or spot weld those hooks to the bottom so that they protrude like this and hook up, so you can hang keys, and you can do that 2 to 3 times. You could fit 3 on this tool rack here. That's exactly what it is. It's a tool tray for holding, WD-40 and other small tools. Other than that, that is it. Remember that you don't need to make this out of paper. You need to make it out of metal. In fact, I would recommend that you make it out of paper first to get the feel for how it's going to look and feel, and make sure that you get the measurements right. You know what they say, measure twice, cut once. And then once the paper version has been approved by your teacher, you can move on to the metal version and have yourself a nice little tool tray. If you choose to, you can grind down the outside sections of the box, and you can paint it if you like. Oh, one thing I missed. If you are going to weld hooks onto the bottom, make sure that there's no finish on them on the side that is going to be welded, because the metal needs to be clean before you can weld. So make sure that you use sandpaper to clean off any finish that there might be, or paint on the metal. Make sure that metal is bare, and so is this. It can't be rusty or gross or anything. because it will not weld at all. Other than that, good luck. Have a great day, and I hope you get a great mark.